11th. Welcome to the online tutorial sessions for business studies. I am Avinash Lambert, your business guru, and today we are going to continue our third chapter, which is public, private and global enterprises. Now students, this is the last video for this third chapter, and with the last topic, let's start our new video. Now today's topic is public private partnership. Now, as the name suggests, it refers to the participation of private sector in the government projects. When the private sector works with the government in the government's project, then that is known as public private partnership, or it means partnership between public sector and the private sector. In which departments? In financing, in designing and developing the infrastructural facilities. Infrastructure facilities are provided by the government, but in today's time this infrastructural facilities are provided with the help of private sector. If you see the Gujarat model and if you see current scenario Rajasthan model, then both the states have a similarity that they are preferring to the public private partnership. Most of the time the government is taking help of the private sector. The government sector is providing finance, they are providing money, and the work is done by the private sector. So it means the partnership between public sector and private sector in financing, in designing and developing infrastructural facilities. And this private public partnership, these three P's, these are popularly known as P, P and P, and also P cube or P3. Understood? These public private partnership is also termed as triple P, that is PPP, P cube and P3. Now in short you can say it's a joint venture between public and private sector. Is that clear? It's a joint venture. Just now in the previous video you studied about the joint venture company, right? Joint venture. So here it is a joint venture between public and private sector. Now this public private partnership or PPP is for following objectives or following projects. Why the government is preferring PPP? First of all, it is mostly required for the power generation, secondly for the transportation, thirdly for the water, fourth for the healthcare, fifth for the education, and sixth for the telecommunication. Now you already know what these six things are. In today's time the government is taking help of the private sector, and with the help of private sector both are providing you power, transport, water, healthcare, education and telecommunication. Now let's start the features. Let's understand the features of this public private partnership. And mind it students, you must note it down when the caption comes in. As soon as you see the caption, just pick out a pen and start writing it. If you have written it, it means you have learned it, right? Now let's start with the first feature. The first feature of PPP is contract between public sector and private sector. Now basically it's a contract. It's a contract. Under it the private sector provides services or public assets to the public at large. Under it the private sector is providing public services or public assets to the public in the large quantity. Now what is public services and public assets? It's a very simple thing. Now public services means those services which the government is obligated to provide to its citizen. For example, electricity, water. These are the examples. Electricity and water, these are the examples which are to be provided by the government. We as the citizen of the country, we demand or we are asking for electricity to the government, not to the private company. In India, electricity and water comes under the government sector. Now, government is obligated to provide, and with the help of public sector, the government is providing these public services. Now, what are public assets? Now, public assets are the links. These are the medium for the delivery of public services. You already know what is public services. Now, with the help of public assets, these public services are being provided. For example, roads. Without the roads, you cannot have the services. Without bridges, without flyovers, they are not possible. If we don't have roads, we don't have flyovers, we cannot reach to the electricity or water. Understood? So this is your public service and public assets. Now let's come to the second feature, which is cost of using services. Who has to pay the cost of the using services? In some PPP, cost is borne by the users of the services. Those who are using the services, they have to pay for it and not the taxpayers' money. But in some cases, the services is being free and that is paid with the help of taxpayers' money. Or sometimes it is completely paid by the government, or a little part is being paid by the government, that is the subsidy. Sometimes the government provides the subsidies to them, right? Now let's come to the third one. The third one is operations or management for a specified period of time. Now, operations and management for a specified period of time, it means the time for the public private partnership is limited. It's limited. It's not for the unlimited time. It is limited. It expires when the PPP comes to an end. This is a contract, and in the contract it's being written that at this time or after the completion of this task, this public private partnership will dissolve. Then at the expiry of such period, PPP comes to an end. Now let's come to the fourth feature, which is suitable for big and high priority projects. Yes, this public private partnership, this is best for the big and high priority projects which are very important for the country, for the development, for the citizens, like infrastructure, hospitals, schools, roads and other things which are very important for the development of our nation. This public private partnership in the government project targets at public welfare. This PPP is used in government projects which targets the public welfare. For example, Delhi Metro Railway Corporation. This Delhi Metro Railway Corporation, this is the gift of public private partnership. Without the help of public private partnership, this won't be happening in India. The Delhi Metro, it's a gift of public private partnership. Now the fifth feature is sharing revenues. Revenue means profit. Now revenue is shared between the government and the private sector in the agreed ratio. In whatever ratio they have decided, they will share the revenue. Now in some cases you must have seen that there are toll gates. Now those toll gates are allowed by the government to those private firms which have helped in the construction of that road. So they give the time duration, like for 5 years you can collect the toll tax there. The government won't be interrupting there. So that's how they can also manage the sharing of revenue. It depends on the contract, but in most of the cases they share according to the agreed ratio, the predetermined agreed ratios. Now the last feature is the risk sharing. Now under the risk sharing, the most of the risk is mostly shared by the public sector because they are providing the funds in most of the cases, but in sometimes there is equal risk sharing between the public and private sector, but most of the time most of the risk is shared by the public sector. Now students, that's all for the public private partnership, and with this you have also completed the chapter number 3. Congratulations to all. Now I want you all to take out your pen and copies and do complete your complete chapter and especially today's lecture. That's all for this video. Stay home, stay safe, and see you soon.